What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Chief Marketing Officer, TigerFitness.com, creator of the Outright Bar, as well as partner in the Ambrosia Collective and 015 Nutrition. So, as you guys might know my story, I obtained a pro card in NABA in 2013. And shortly thereafter, I retired because, well, I couldn't handle the pressures of running businesses, raising a family, and bodybuilding because I became a total prick. And I was just mean and belligerent and nasty. And it wasn't good. It affected my business, affected my personal life, affected my family. So fast forward to why I'm competing now 8 years later. I was actually boxing for the last 5 years and exhibitions, but I'd say I was 2-0. The first one I won, the second one was an exhibition. But if you look at it, I won that fight. But anyway, 2-0. And I was getting ready for an event that actually just went on in Georgia, a Masters boxing tournament. Which, by the way, my coach said I would have won. No big deal. So I was getting ready for it. And finally, Katie sat me down. She's like, look, man, you make money with your brain. I'm like, okay. She goes, well, you can't keep getting punched in the face and the head because you're going to be walking around like all lost and stuff.
And we know you've already had how many concussions as a kid?
5 documented.
At least. Yeah.
So I played football. So I'm definitely a candidate for CTE. So basically, Katie sits me down and she says, hey, and I'm like, okay, I need to do something competitive. So long story short, there was the Knox Classic that was 2 weeks away. And I'm like, hey, Katie, I want to try coming back for bodybuilding. And she just wrote, okay. I texted her this. I was in California. I'm like, okay. So then I come back home and I go to the gym and they're, hey, in 4 days, there's the stage show, or 5 days. And I decided to do that first. I get second. My goal was just to win Masters and not even go on. I was actually going to just stop there and show that I could come back. But I won Masters, but I came in second and open. And I was like, I can't go out like a bitch like this. So I went and went to the Knox 6 days later, dropped 16 pounds in 1 week and won the Knox Classic. And that was a very tough week for most people. And I'm fully depleted right now. Fully depleted, yet I'm crushing it in life. I just closed a huge deal today. I actually have another follow-up call in 45 minutes on. We've done presentations. We've been absolutely killing it. I've been coaching at my high at Ravenwood. I'm their full-time strength coach for wrestling.
After he got back from the Knox Classic, or the Monday after, is when I had surgery 3 weeks ago today. So he had a whole week where I was unable to do anything.
So I schlepped the kids to practice.
No cooking, no lifting, nothing.
I did everything. I even drained the bag of boob juice that came out. So, I've been asked a lot. People are like, because people have been following me for a while, they don't understand what the difference is in why I'm able to compete now and why I wasn't able to compete in 2013. And I loved the challenge of competing. I just could never figure out how to do it without being a jerk. And most people can't. Most people in prepping are absolute tools. And I'll let Katie jump into how I've been, and then I'm going to go over my secrets to everything and how and why it's working, or at least my guess. And you can call me bullshitting, whatever. And before we get started, I just want to say that, in 2013, I believe I was on more androgens, a lot of things that could make me angry, but I don't really think it's the drugs that I was on. I think it was just me not being able to handle things. But so you could point to that. Maybe we're on Halo, maybe we're on this, maybe we're on that. No, I really think it's the body fat more than the drugs, and the drugs just may push that over the top a little. But if you're an asshole, you'll just be a slightly bigger asshole with the drugs. Katie, you want to interject?
I mean, there's not a whole lot to say other than you're just in a much better mood and you are functioning on what are you sleeping? 6 hours a night, if that?
4.5, 5. I can't sleep past.
I look at get emails when he turns the alarm off, and he turns the alarm off at 4:30 in the morning. We go to bed at like 11, and apparently you lay in bed for a while before you even do that. So, no, you just have had a good mood, and I mean, I think part of it is because I said, like, you can't do this if you're going to be an asshole.
But you said that before, and I
said
totally
that before, but you were still an asshole. Also,
there's a control.
The kids are older now, so when you started competing, the very first part of your competing career, Cammie was a baby, and then in 2013, Preston was a baby. So you did it all in times where we had babies, and
Yeah, but they're bigger assholes now.
Right, but they don't require their asses change because they shit themselves. Like,
Preston will have a day here.
no, he doesn't.
Cammy will.
Just didn't appreciate that you said that in a video.
So, I think there's a couple of compounding factors that really play a role in how I was able to pull this off and hopefully end this all with a pro card. And just my plans. If I win my pro card, if I earn it, I'm going to take 7 months off and I'm going to compete in my first pro show in the 212 class at the Chicago Pro. If I do not win it, I will take 4 weeks off of prep. It's 13 weeks out and then go into training for the Masters USA. But I fully plan on winning this. I think there's a lot of things. Number one is I think we fixed our house. I don't think our marriage was where it needed to be in 2013. And I think that we kind of figured out marriage. I also think that I'm 40. And it's funny, I was talking to Jose Raymond. You guys might know him as the most shredded bodybuilder probably in the history, other than Gaspari and Munzer, who died from being too shredded and on too many diuretics. And Jose, we were joking around that most people bodybuild and then find a career. I literally amassed a decent, I'd say we have a decent net worth. And now I'm bodybuilding, so I'm doing everything in reverse. So in 2013, while we did have a certain level of success, or 2011 or 2010, I competed from 2007 to 2013.
It was a different kind of stress.
It was growth stress. But now our companies, other than the Outright Bar, which is a tremendous pain in my ass, Tiger Fitness, MTS Nutrition, they're great. Ambrosia is growing at a rapid pace. You know, it's a very happy business situation. So, and we're financially set. Like, we're stable. We're great. You know, we live in a beautiful community, go to beautiful schools, and I'm not financially worried like I was in 2013. 2013, if we had a bad week, we didn't get paid. You know what I mean? Like, it was still at that level of business. In fact, when we started Tiger Fitness in 2011, Chad and I barely took salaries for the first couple of years. So there was financial stress because we sold Civation. Yet, I'm going to be upfront and honest, we blew through that quickly because we basically funded Tiger Fitness and MTS Nutrition by not getting paid.
Right.
So yeah, I did sell a big company, but that shit goes fast and you ain't getting paid. So, but obviously it was a good decision. So nonetheless, a couple other things. I think at 40, I can think before I speak. And I am notorious on YouTube for saying shit that gets me in trouble. In fact, one of my best friends now, Mac Truck, Wes Boxley, Mac Truck and I hated each other for a while because I opened my mouth and said stupid shit. That was my fault. And then we became best friends after. Well, great friends. I'm not going to be probably like, you're my best friend. So I'm known for that. And when I was younger, I was just a hothead. And I'm still a hothead, but I can think before I speak. For example, you know, the other night, like, Cammy she can get in this zone where she's really fucking annoying. She just keeps going and go, why? What? I don't know if she's trolling or if she's really like that. But it was at a point where I think if I wasn't prep, I would have blown up and been like, Cammy, I can't do it, you know? But I actually, because I was in the situation, I know I don't want to be prep guy. I literally sat back,
So you're overcompensating.
took a deep breath, and I'm like, Cammy, I'm going to walk into my office now, and you're not going to follow me. And I did, because I don't know if y'all know, but when you're a parent, you get pissed off a lot. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of frustration. And I'm usually the one talking Katie down because I look at the bright side. Like on Friday nights when I was 15 years old, I was doing shit that I shouldn't have been doing. Our kids on Friday nights, it's almost a ritual because they don't have soccer usually. We go to Lifetime and train. You know, so I'm like, Katie will be like, she left this on her floor. And I'm like, Katie, I mean, she's not a stripper.
I know, but I also want to teach them life skills.
Yeah, but a good life skill is not getting arrested or killed.
That's a good one. It's
So
also good to have, you know,
cleanliness. I also got to say this, like, two things. This is something I've done that, you know, I've actually gotten a lot of hate for it and more love though. 90% love, 10% hate. And that is that I've found religion. Now I haven't found which religion yet, but you know, before every training session, Courtney and I say a prayer. Today it's God, please don't injure me 3 days out from a show. So we start with a prayer. Every morning I start my day when I lay in bed. I check the time. I say my little prayer. And if I forget, because sometimes it's early, I forget, when I go into the bathroom, I'll say a prayer. I'll just sit there, close my eyes, say a little 5-second prayer. It's not a planned prayer.
Are you on the toilet when you do this? You
No,
every day?
no, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not praying to the God of the clean butthole. But I think that marriage, family in order, finances in order. See, the problem with a lot of bodybuilders is the stress going on in their life. A lot of bodybuilders don't make much money. They're spending a ton of money on drugs and food and travel to shows. So they're out for a cycle and travel and a show. They're out $20,000.
Oh my God.
Sometimes. If they're on GH and stuff, absolutely. So you got a $20,000 expense for a guy who's hustling training for $50 an hour. That's not going to work. The math doesn't add up. And that's why bodybuilders get caught up in the G for P and the selling drugs, just because they're so after this goal. For me, number one is I don't buy expensive drugs. I have prescription drugs from Hormone Health and Wellness, so don't have to worry about that. And that's also a stressor. When you're walking around carrying around illegal contraband, it's not the best thing doing those deals. Or ordering it from overseas. We've known people who got popped for that. So, I think those stressors add up. And yeah, in 2013, I think the main thing was I wasn't at peace with myself. And I just wasn't mature. Like, I'm not going to lie. The worst thing that happened to me from a maturity standpoint was starting my own company.
You don't have to report to a boss.
When I worked for, and even when I worked for Weeder, I was so good at what I did that I had a boss. His name was Lyle Clark. I still talk to him every week. We talk all the time. He was a groomsman at my wedding. And Lyle would let me do whatever I want. And I'd get away with it because I was so good at my job. I was bringing in millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars for not only the company, but I was lining his ass too. Everybody was getting paid off of my work, so they let me slide. I got away with shit I wouldn't let people get away with in my company.
Yeah.
And so I was myself, and then I started Civation, and the first couple years I cleaned it up, and then I'm like, okay, I could be immature again because we have the number one selling, we invented a category, like we're making millions of dollars, right? And then when I started Tiger Fitness, lucky for me, Chad is very mature. Chad's got that dad vibe going, and I learned a lot from him. But I actually think that not only Chad, but being around Sean and Mike. Mike is very introspective, where he will tell you stuff about yourself. He's like, dude, that's kind of weird, and I think he kind of put me into check because he's not afraid to tell me. And Sean, noticing Sean, I've known him since he was like 20. And I've seen Sean mature, and I have Mike telling me to stop being an idiot. I have Chad setting an example, and I'm seeing Sean mature, and I'm here, and I'm still fucking 15 years old. And people get mad at me. They're like, dude, your channel was so good and you used to rant and go off at people. I'm like, yeah, but you know how much drama and lawsuits that caused? No thanks. So lawsuit, I have a funny story. I'm not going to name the company. I did a video about a company, and it was a true video. And we had a distributor get us out, pay for us to go to Indy 500, the car race, And so what's funny is my partner Chad sat by that company's attorney. He's like, yeah, I'm Chad from Tiger Fitness. He's like, yeah, we know you. But I think that it's maturity, and it's where I'm at in life. And even being at this level of leanness, which most people, in fact, I haven't seen anybody this lean in a long, long time. It's just, I think it's mindset. And I think the human mind is a powerful thing. And if you can harness the power of the human mind, you're in a very good spot. So that's it. Do you have anything to add, Katie?
Not really. Hopefully you win so you get time off.
Well,
if I eat some cake, I'm like, these head veins and.
Well, I don't plan on losing, but you never know who's going to show up, and it's bodybuilding after all. So.
Yeah.
But you know what? I won the Knox Classic, and I think I got placed fairly at the stage show that I totally fucked up the prep for. My 5-day prep, I did the wrong thing. I think if I would have done it a different way, I would have won overall. But the good news is I learned, and I took 1 week to correct, and now I'm in a really good spot. So I hope I win, and if I don't, I'll just keep going. But anyway, guys, that is my secret to prep. That's how I deal with it. And you know, if you're young and you can't handle it, maybe you should just put it off a couple
Don't
years.
be an asshole. It's not worth it.
And don't lose your job over it. I've literally fired an employee for prep. Well, not for prepping, for being a dick. Like literally insubordination in public. And I don't like firing people, but I kind of enjoyed firing that guy because he kind of shit on me. But nonetheless, dude, I'm not a firing person. But prep, it plays with some people in a bad way. But not me. I'm happy. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Katie has her, she's posting a lot on her breast implant illness on YouTube. On Instagram. So if you go to Katie's Instagram, follow her at Katie Lobliner. Again, follow me at Marc Lobliner.
Post today. Probably do a follow-up video maybe next week. So
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
And I'll have my
I've started my diet and some training and stuff. So
she has. She started an absolute diet.
I was supposed to eat like 30 minutes ago. So
all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Love y'all. And of course, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell, and if you want to buy supplements, go to tigerfitness.com because we have bills to pay. Thanks for watching. That's not a game. How hard you train and the results you get. It's about more than your pre-workout. It's about more than the weights you lift. It's about your mood. It's about the sleep you get. It's about how you wake up. That's why Ambrosia Ritual PM is so critical in making the gains that you deserve. You can sleep deep and rise renewed. Wake up smiling with Ritual PM, a formulation like no other, combining 4 clinically proven ingredients in precise dosages. It unleashes a slew of benefits, including relax and fall asleep easier without depressing your nervous system, relieve stress and anxiety, and the kicker, awaken feeling more positive, confident, and energized than ever before. Get a great night's sleep and wake up feeling better than you've ever felt before. Get Ritual PM today.